What's up, fam, and welcome to a new video. So I'm really excited to make this video, and I had to come out here and film this beautiful scenery because right now in Calgary it is really unseasonably warm, and so I have been taking advantage of the warm weather, and guess what, we picked up a new vehicle. So I'm really excited to show you guys this. So it's been a long time coming. So as you guys will see later in the video, the Audi is very broken and it needs quite a bit of work. So I added it all up, I did the math, and it turned out that the amount of money and time required to repair the Audi kind of just didn't make sense from a feasibility standpoint. And also the car is a daily driver, so I needed to rely on it. I needed something that I can use every day, and I also needed something that I can use for moving wheels and tires for my business. So if you guys didn't see the last video, I talked about Wheel HQ, and long story short, basically what I do is I sell pre-owned used wheels and tires as well as brand new stuff, but I try to focus on the used stuff, which means I need to be able to transport this stuff. So ideally I would have gotten a truck, but so I was looking at trucks, I was looking at Tahoes, I was looking at and also like other SUVs. So one of the things that I really wanted to get was a Honda Pilot first gen, and kind of lift it and raise it and kind of do like a sort of an overland build. So what I started to find was I looked at different vehicles, and you know, I should have gotten a truck, but you know, and then my main thing that I wanted was a Volkswagen Atlas. So the Atlas was a really good candidate, but they are a little bit higher price than I want to spend right now, and also they're not like super great. So I was looking at the Atlas, and then I kind of like put that aside, and then I started looking at like Tahoes, Pilots, what was the other thing, X5s, BMW X5s. You know, I was on Marketplace, and of course the algo on Marketplace is pretty good, so it delivered me something, and it ended up being something that I didn't expect, but I'm really happy that it did come up. What's up, y'all, and welcome to another video. It's been a really long time since I've filmed anything, and this video is super improv, no real planning, but anyway, I picked up a new whip, and I'm really excited. I'm actually here at the guy's house to pick it up. Now, I already did the deal, already bought the car. I have the key in my pocket, but it did need a little bit of work, so I had to chuck a tire on a wheel and bring it back here so we can chuck a wheel on it, and then I can drive it because it had a flat tire. So I got that. I got a wheel and a tire mounted and ready to go in the back. I have all my tools and everything I need. The car is something that I'm so excited for this thing. I've been looking for a vehicle for almost a year, maybe like 6 months to a year now. And so, yeah, no, I'm so super excited to have picked something up. So I didn't expect to pick one of these up, but I mean, I'm really glad I did. So let's go take a look at it. Like I said, it does need some work, and it's inevitably going to be a project a little bit. So I wanted to buy something practical and something super reliable, and I think it is practical and reliable, but it's not it follows the theme a little too closely. But anyways, there's also this super cool little unit parked here. This is like just outside the guy's house. This is not his, this is a little Euro van just chilling here. Thought I would show you guys that. But anyway, let's go check out this vehicle. Oh baby, there she is, y'all. The new whip. Oh, look at that. VW Touareg. Well, I didn't waste any time, and I just got straight to work. Got that wheel and tire mounted on the rear, so there was this spare here. So there's this little space saver spare. So I took that off. We got this on, so we got a Bridgestone Blizzak DMV2 in the back here. The other ones are kind of, these tires are done, they need to go. So I got a set of winters to go on here. So now it's at least drivable. I got air, this tire was flat, so we got air in there. It's all 4 tires now have some air in them. And yeah, I'll show you guys more when we get the car back. So what I ended up getting was a Volkswagen Touareg. So yeah, so I wanted to keep things kind of like affordable on a budget, and I wanted to do an overland build. So that's kind of the main thing with this vehicle, is it's going to be sort of an overland off-road capable vehicle. Now the Touareg is, if you guys know about the early Touaregs, they are fantastic vehicles. They have a really good all-wheel drive 4x4 system, but the Atlases don't have the same thing. So The old Touareg, so the generation 1 and 2, they have a low range and they also have a center diff lock. Now, some of them did come with a rear diff locker and a front diff locker, but those are less common, and the center diff lock is what you typically will find on these vehicles. So anyway, let me show you guys what we got. So we got this beautiful interior here. It's all black leather. I think it's leatherette actually, but very clean, very nice interior. It's got the RNS 510, which we'll talk about later. I think I want to replace that because I've been trying to make Bluetooth work with it, and I've tried like several different methods and it's kind of been a pain, but we'll talk about that in a minute. And then right here, of course, we have our low range and our center diff lock. So you can pretty much just change it right there. Very handy to have that. So that will give us a lot more capabilities off-road, which is what we really want for this thing. Runs absolutely perfectly, knock on wood. So everything has been really good. I've been driving the car now for about almost 2 months actually, and I'm very happy with it. So the back, as you can see, I have that in pretty much truck mode. So this is for transporting wheels and tires, and I just pretty much have it like that 99% of the time. Okay guys, here's how the headlights currently look in the Touareg. So this is the factory HID headlights, and it's actually a headlight because the right side is burnt out. So this is just the left side headlight. So I'm gonna go into the garage right now, pull the LED lights out of the Audi, and I'm gonna slap them in here because that's pretty much the easiest thing to do. So this is what it looks like now. So I'm gonna take a video after so that we can see a comparison of this versus that. All right, see you then. A few days later, and I remembered finally to take a video of the headlights in this same spot in the dark, so hopefully you can tell a difference. So that was fog lights off now, and fog lights on. So I'm trying to find my yellow fog lights too. So I have a pair of yellow fog light bulbs, so we're gonna try and chuck those in if I can find them. And I just picked up all the bulbs that are missing or that are burnt out. So, and I got oil and filter, so we're gonna do an oil change and build bulbs here pretty quick. See, there's the bulb warning there. I had the heater and the vacuum on, so I reset. Okay, so I've been sort of working on maintaining the Touareg here and kind of getting it up to date with everything. And one thing I noticed right away when I went to go buy the car is I put a multimeter onto the battery terminals and noticed that the battery is a little bit low on voltage. So we do actually have a built-in voltmeter right here in the dash. So I'm going to turn a key here and we're going to see what it reads to. So I'm going to turn...
Power on. Bluetooth.
Yeah. So
waiting for...
Turn that down. Okay, so 11 and a half. Clearly we don't have enough voltage here. When I start the car and run the engine though, it does crank up to 14 volts. Maybe even a little more than 14, which might be even on the high side. But definitely the battery is low on voltage. So I was looking up the specs for the battery, and turns out the Audi battery is the same group size that's recommended for the Touareg. So these Touaregs take either 95R battery or a group 49 battery. So the Audi has a group 49, and I measured it out. We got 12.75 volts on that one, and I just charged it. So I'm going to actually put that battery in this car and then that way I don't have to maintain it, and it can just be used, and that should solve our voltage issue. So as you can see, it's still below 12. It should be reading at about 12.5 to 12.75 ish when it's not charging, so that's a problem. So let's go swap out that battery out of the Audi. All right, and here is our Group 49 battery in the Audi A4, and this is the same size battery that the Touareg calls for, except for the 95R, which is a little bit bigger. It's about 2 inches longer this dimension. So it's possible that the battery in the Touareg now is a 95R, and that we're going to put it in a Group 49, which is downsizing it a bit, but we're going to pull the battery out of the Touareg here shortly and find out what it is. And I'm curious to see if it's a Group 49 or 95R. So here's the charger. I just charged it up and made sure it was at max. And then I also have here my old Mark II VR6 Jetta battery. So this battery I've had sitting and I've been maintaining it periodically, so it is also topped up. I just metered it out and it is also giving me 12.75 volts. So we got 2 good batteries. We got that one with 12.75 volts and that one with about 12.75 volts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that battery out. That's going to go into the Touareg. That battery is going to go into the Audi, just so we can start it and charge it, maintain it, make sure that the Audi has a charge, and the poor old Mark II VR6 is going to sit there without a battery. So yeah, and then I guess when it comes time, we'll deal with the battery situation with the Mark II. But I think this is just a better way to do it. I mean, if you have, like, those of you guys that have multiple cars, you probably know having 3, 4, 5 batteries, you know, some of them are going to go dead. You're not going to keep them all charged, so might as well just rotate them through the cars. And if you have all, you know, Volkswagen Audi group cars, a lot of the parts are interchangeable, like batteries and stuff. I also ended up using the headlights, so the LED headlights that I originally put in this car, I put in the Touareg. The yellow fog light bulbs, which I deleted the fog lights on this car because it has the intercooler, but anyhow, kind of fun to just pull parts out when needed. But of course now this thing doesn't have what it needs, so we will, when we get the chance, we will put all the other parts that we need into the Touareg and into here so that both cars have everything. But for now, just to get the voltage situation, it's like Sunday in between New Year's and like Christmas and New Year's, so I don't have a lot of options, and I find there's really no point in buying another battery. So let's swap it out. All right, so I got my Group 49 battery here. It's giving me about 12.66 volts right now. So now let's go pull the battery out of the Touareg and check that. And then I also put the Mark II battery in the Audi. It is obviously a little small, but the lights and everything work. It'll be enough to start the engine if we need to move the car, so that should be sufficient for now. Okay, got the seat folded back, and battery is under here. And there she is, Motomaster Eliminator. Of course, so it's been replaced. There's the date code. It says 1/21/94R. So this is actually smaller than the Group 49. Hell yeah, that's a good sign. That means we're gonna upgrade it. So this is a 94R. So there's 3 sizes that I've seen recommended for the Touareg. The first biggest size is the 95R. Number 2 is the Group 49, and then the 94R, which I know doesn't make sense, but so that's a 94R. Okay, so I got the battery out, and I'm gonna toss this battery on charge just so I can see what happens if it happens to take a charge. So interestingly, it's got a 5-year warranty. It is an AGM. There's the 94R again. It was manufactured in 2021. So technically I have till January of 2026. It's literally December 28th. So maybe I could warranty this thing. Anyhow, we're gonna be upgrading this anyway, so let's get this out of here and get the new one in. All right, so here's the 2 batteries side by side, and as you can see, the Group 49 is quite a bit bigger than the 94R. Well, by about 1.5 inches, and then the Group 95R is actually even bigger than this one. So another thing to note is that this is an AGM battery, and this is your standard lead acid battery. So what I'm going to do is try this guy out, see how it does, and if I do need to upgrade the battery again later, like if this isn't sufficient or whatever dies. This is also from the end of 2022 approximately. Actually, I don't know where the MFG date on is, but yeah, if we got to replace that, then what I think I'm going to do is go to a 95R AGM battery, and that would be, you know, the best battery essentially you can get. But again, those are about $500 to $600 Canadian. So we'll see how this guy does. I'll get it cleaned up here, throw it in, and go from there. Alrighty, battery is in, tightened down, lights are on. Let's check what the voltage gauge says. Moment of truth. Okay, right around 12 volts, maybe a little more. Pretty much right at 12, but I'd say that's an improvement. Yo, check it out. I can plug in 115 volt AC, and we got 14 volts. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so I'm gonna turn off the key, and it should, even when it's on position. Yeah, okay, so it will not charge unless the engine's running. Cool. Just picked up some wheels for the Touareg. So we got some factory 17-inch uglies and some factory 18-inch Porsche uglies. And these we're gonna do probably winters on this set, 245, 75, 17 winters, I'm thinking, and 265, 65, 18 all-terrains, I'm thinking. But yeah, wheels are acquired, tires to be determined. But yeah, pretty stoked on that. Good pickup. Now the 19s can go for sale. Okay, bye. All right, guys. So I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I purchased this Bluetooth adapter here that plugs into the MDI outlet here in the glove box. And so basically what you're supposed to do is be able to go to media here, and it's gonna work now. Of course, yeah, because because I'm filming, so it's gonna work now. But I was just fiddling around with this for the last 10 minutes and it would not play music through it, and I'm like, what the hell? And then I have this guy down here, which is a FM transmitter, Bluetooth FM transmitter, and this thing has been very reliable, so it works really good. Every time I use it with the radio here, as you can see, I have all of the presets set to the same one because that's all I need, and I don't want it to default to the radio at any point. So I've been using the FM transmitter, but of course the audio quality is not as good as it should be. So I thought, you know, the media input here would work, but it's not reliable. Like a lot of the times it just won't work, and I want to be able to just hop in the car, start the car, and have the music play right away, no matter what. And like, even if my SoundCloud app doesn't load, sometimes the SoundCloud app will kind of just like quit itself and it won't be running on the phone. So then when you get back in the car or you just hit the play button on the music, it doesn't want to play because the app has closed, which sucks. I wish SoundCloud app wouldn't do that, but then I'm like, well, hopefully it'll default at least to the music playing on the music app. But even then, sometimes it won't play. And regardless of whatever the output is, whatever the media is playing from the phone, it's not playing when I want it to when I start the car. So I think I'm going to return the adapter, which kind of sucks, but there is another adapter, Bluetooth adapter from Ugreen that I want to try. It's a super basic one that will plug into the aux port, which is in here. So, and then it requires a USB type A, so I'm going to get another USB adapter. So this is just a USB type C over here. This one has C and A, but it's the FM transmitter, so I'm going to get one that has USB A and C, put it in here, and then that will power the new Bluetooth aux transmitter that does not have FM, and then that will just route. I'll try to wire it cleanly down here and up into the aux, which is going to be back here. So yeah, hopefully that works. I think that's going to be the most reliable option. Like even if the MDI adapter, even if I kept it, I would probably rather just have the other one as a backup solution, so instead of the FM transmitter. And then the FM transmitter that I have here will just be backup for other vehicles, but I don't want to have the FM aspect to it because I don't want the staticky audio signal. I want it to be like direct to the MDI here, direct to the aux, or we'd have to replace this whole head unit, which I've thought about. If I was to replace this head unit, I'd want to do a wireless CarPlay, which I know Pioneer and a few others make one. So if all else fails, like if, you know, the other Bluetooth adapter I try just doesn't work, then we're probably going to just start looking at some upgrades for this thing. Because honestly, this vehicle is a 2009, so this technology is, you know, 15, 17, 18, 19 years old. So this stuff's old now, and it's, by today's standard, we need to upgrade this. So we shall see. I wanted to do something kind of like a cheap workaround for now, because I really like the OEM clean look. I have seen other like mods, I guess, for the RNS system where it will run CarPlay, but it will use like the factory screen. And so you can still use these buttons here on the sides and use the volume control. And the other thing is the steering wheel controls, which I want to retain. So if we were to do like an aftermarket head unit, oh, it's just the music playing. I'm like, what is that noise? Yeah, so if I was to do an aftermarket head unit, I would want to have these buttons here working. So anyhow, a lot to unpack. If you guys know anything about making the RNS system work better with a Bluetooth phone, let me know. I want to be able to run Bluetooth. Having the aux is nice because then I could plug it in if I ever wanted like a really direct signal, but honestly, you know, the music that we stream and most of the music in my music app is all like 128 or 320 kilobits per second anyways, so it's all not like super high quality music. But for the odd tracks that I have, like, you know, WAV files or high quality audio, you know, it'd be nice to be able to have a proper audio signal into this system, because this is, I don't know if you can see that, this is the Dynaudio system. So I want to try to retain the sound quality of the Dynaudio system, but be able to have, you know, like a Bluetooth phone streaming music to it without having to kind of like take out this whole OEM looking dash. So again, I know there's mods for this thing, but if you guys have any ideas, if you guys know anything about modding the RNS system so that we can run like CarPlay wirelessly or anything else, let me know. Again, this is like a, what do you call it, like a pressure sensitive screen, so it's not like, again, it's not really that great. A capacitive screen would be a lot nicer, and of course there's more, like, you know, you can get screens that are bigger too, and there's no buttons on the side, it'll just be full screen. The Pioneer one does have some touch controls or whatever, but anyway, yeah, so that's where I'm at with the audio system on this car at the moment. So hopefully I can find, you know what, tonight I'm probably just going to order the other Bluetooth setup, and then at least that'll give me a fallback. Even if again, like I said, if I were to keep the MDI adapter that's sitting in the glove box there, I would want to have a fallback or a backup solution that's still a direct to the aux system, so that we're not using this stupid FM transmitter. I mean, it's a good product. It works well for what it is, and for cars that like don't have an aux, it's really good, and even kind of matches the interior colors. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna order the other Bluetooth adapter, and I will, I guess, update you guys on how that one works. Yeah, but yeah, let me know if you guys know any mods on the RNS. Okay, bye. Okay, so this thing needs brakes. So I'm currently jacking up the rear, and I'm gonna just verify that everything, the brake pads and rotors are like what I think they are, so that I order the right stuff. And then I also want to pull off the front wheel. You can't see it, but I'm gonna pull it off and just test fit the 17-inch wheel that I picked up. But then also, it's like nighttime, and I'm like jacking up the car, and look at that. The moon is just right overhead between the garage and the car, and you can actually, you probably can't see it on the phone. Oh, maybe that little dot there in the middle of the screen, I believe, is Jupiter. So I don't know, kind of cool. Yeah, so I'm gonna jack this up, pull that wheel off, check rotors and pads to see that I got the right part numbers, and then I'll pull the front wheel off, test fit that 17, and then if 17 fits, then let's go ahead with tires soon, hopefully. Okay, everything checks out over here. So these are a 330 by 28 millimeter rotor, and I measured it. So the caliper is giving me 27 mil. So these can wear down to 26 mil, but they are very, very worn. We got metal on metal freaking pads, dude. So we are gonna order these first thing in the morning. I just wanted to pull this off here to check that we got the right stuff. The pads are pretty much what I thought. They got those little rollers on there, so I wanted to just, I've seen a lot of different part numbers online, so anyhow, I just wanted to make sure I got the right stuff. So I'm gonna chuck this wheel back on, and then let's test fit that 17. Alrighty, so I got that there, and we have our factory 17-inch wheel. So we're gonna see if that wheel fits over the brakes, and they really should. There's no reason why not. I did call the dealership and they confirmed that these would fit. But I always like to see myself to be sure. Oh yeah, we are good. Yeah, it's a factory wheel, so I mean, I'm just gonna bolt it on as well. These wheels are so gross. Honestly, they need a powder coat, but I don't think I want to spend that on these. So the plan is to wheel acid them clean, get this shit off. It might actually come off, and then maybe sand them down by hand and just rattle can them black. I think that's what I'm leaning towards for now. Hell yeah, dude, pretty happy with that. Okay, so clean this shit up and order some brake stuff and Bluetooth stuff. Yeah, man, the Bluetooth adapter isn't working for me either, and I'm not happy about it. I'm very not happy about it, and that's funny because the brand is Invery, so it's like I'm very anyway. Okay, bye. All right, so in my quest to get the Bluetooth to work properly on the factory head unit without actually replacing the head unit, I've landed on this Bluetooth adapter here. So I'm trying to get rid of USB type A, but I mean, that's the only thing that I can really find that is like a direct to aux connection. There are a few other little battery powered adapters that do work, but the problem is every time you get in the car, you got to manually connect it, and when you get out of the car, it can stay connected to the phone and continue streaming audio to it. And then if you have earphones in or something like that, then the connection kind of interferes. So this way, as soon as I turn the car off, it'll cut power to this USB type A. So I got this USB type A and C adapter here. So that one's like a flush fitting one, and hopefully that'll be completely flush. So that will replace this one here, which is the FM transmitter. And then down here, I have just a standard like USB type C 30 watt power delivery unit. So that's kind of just for, I mean, that's the one I had before. So I'll probably leave that one there. This one will go there, and it'll power this, and then the USB type C will go up and power our Qi 2 wireless charging magnet here for the MagSafe on the iPhone. So yeah, let's open this up, and I really hope this is going to be the solution for now. I was looking at head units on Amazon, so there are some options there. Shout out to Nathaniel for showing me some options of like what's on Amazon for like pretty cheap for wireless CarPlay. So if I was to replace this factory head unit, wireless CarPlay and Android Auto is kind of the bare minimum, or like kind of the required feature that I'd want. And yeah, so this is the other adapter I tried. This is the Invery MDI adapter. So this thing plugs directly into the MDI adapter on the glove box, or inside the glove box here. So there's a little connector in here just hidden, Oh yeah, there it is. So there's the connector in there. And it sits inside the glove box. And it streams Bluetooth, or it allows you to stream Bluetooth audio to it. But it was very finicky, and like I'll show you a screenshot I took of a photo of the screen here saying that like the device is not functional. And so it was always finicky, it was always disconnecting, and it was connecting when I didn't want it to. Like when I had earphones in, it would start connecting to this adapter here, and then it would steal the signal from my earphones, which was kind of annoying me. So I want something where I can get in the car, I start it, I don't have to think about my music, it just starts playing. And it seems like that's a lot to ask for. Like it's been kind of a process to figure that out. So anyway, let's hope this guy works. We're gonna plug this guy into here, and then I'll route this. Hopefully I can kind of put it down and tuck it so it's hidden. And I believe there's a little hole back here that I can snake this cable through. And the aux cord is down inside here. So yeah, let's get that set up and see if it works. Okay, I'll be honest, I'm not a huge fan of this setup. This like springy wires just chilling on top here. So I'm gonna have to figure out how I can like tuck it down here. I'm sure with a zip tie, but then again, I don't want strain on the ends of the cables. So we'll have to figure something out here. So yeah, not a fan of that. Okay guys, this is my last attempt at getting Bluetooth to work with the factory head unit. So I wasn't super happy with this adapter. So now I'm going to try this one. So this is a battery powered one, so it does require it to be charged or constantly plugged in. And I still have the issue with my cable going through the center console. So I also grabbed this thin cable here. It's a 3-foot cable, I believe. So I'm gonna try this out and see how this works. And I still don't think this is going to be the right solution. I still think an aftermarket wireless CarPlay head unit is the answer, but for now I'm probably going to just try this out. And I wanted at least one option where I have it plugged in directly into the aux input so that we have the best possible sound quality. So this one might be the fallback. The FM transmitter might end up still being the usual, I'm not sure. Hopefully this thing works out for us. This thing's probably going to get returned, and yeah, and then eventually we'll upgrade the whole head unit. All right guys, this is what I came up with so far. So I put this little adapter right here by the gear stick. I just kind of put double-sided tape on the bottom there just to sort of hold that in place. And then I got it plugged into that power adapter there, so it'll have power. And the aux cord comes off the side here. And this is like a thin, flat cable, but I don't know if it's going to be thin enough because it does crease the cable, so it goes just by the side of the seat there, up and into there, and plugs into the aux. So it's a 90 degree, so it kind of hopefully won't get snapped off, but it does sort of crease that cable when I close this. So not sure if that's going to last. I don't know if there's like a provision somewhere. I was thinking I could maybe drill a hole, but I haven't decided where I'd want to drill a hole yet. So we'll try that for now and see if it works. So basically, I actually haven't tried it yet with that cable. So let's take the key. So the nice thing is that when this device receives power from there, it'll auto turn on, I believe. The only thing is it will not shut off when you kill the power from that power adapter. So it'll just kind of stay running, I think. So it's kind of convenient when you're in and out of the car. The music keeps playing. But then if you are leaving the car, you kind of have to like turn it off manually. So that's why I put it right there next to my hand, so I can just kind of click it off. So again, not ideal, but I think this thing's 25 bucks Canadian. The cable was like 13, so I think for now it's going to be sufficient before we replace that unit, and it'll give us the audio quality that I'm looking for. So I'm going to put the key in the ignition here. We'll see if it clicks on.
Power on.
Yep.
Bluetooth connected.
Okay, so now I guess I gotta just hit this button here. Yep, it is working. So normally it'll show a blue light, but I guess when it's charging it shows a red light. So appears to be, oh, there goes blue. So maybe it'll just flicker between blue and red. Oh, that'll just be wonderful to have this flickering light here. Whatever, it'll do for now. It's clean enough. I'm okay with it. Kind of fits in there pretty okay. So Anyway, I will leave affiliate link down in the description to these guys if you guys are interested in checking them out. But yeah, no, audio quality is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. I can't play the music because of copyright, but yeah, cool. By the way, Nexen tires, if you're watching this, for the winter, I really want to get a set of LT245 75R17 Windguard Windspike 3s. And so that tire is the tire that I want to get, and I would like to stud them. So I don't know. I couldn't even, there's no stock on them right now because we're a little late in the season. So I did look them up. They do exist. It's a thing. It's the Load Range E. So yeah, Nexen, if you're watching this, hook me up and we'll do like another review. And I know some of the comments on that video, people were asking about the studded version and also testing them out on a two-wheel drive vehicle. Now, this isn't a two-wheel drive vehicle. However, we could definitely test out the studs. If you look, right in front of me is an entire patch of ice. So I can definitely do some winter ice stud testing. So hit me up and we can toss some Nexen big boys on this this old Touareg here. All right, I managed to get the Audi jacked up in the rear by the tow hook here, as the tire was completely flat. So not sure why it's flat, but we're about to find out, I think. So let me get a jack stand under here. Safety first. Don't need that shit coming down on me. All right. I'm gonna put this under and then I'll show you what we got going on. All right, I found it. I think the spring is broken. I think a piece of it is still there. So, oh yeah. It looks, is that fully compressed? I can't really see. But, all right, so why is the tire flat? I also can't tell what. It's probably from rubbing on something, but I don't see any rubbing marks. Or maybe there's a hole, but I don't see any holes. So, well, I would rather not put air back in the tire. So what I'm gonna do is I have a spare tire and wheel. I don't know what the fuck's going on with that spring, yo. So at first I thought the spring was actually missing. I was like, what? Where'd it go? But all right, there's a slightly better view. Oh yeah, spring's busted. There's your problem. Bust a springer. Yes, sir. We're gonna have to do coilovers on this thing, but this is a pretty rusty chassis, so I don't know if it's worth like trying to save this car, honestly. But we're gonna have to dig into it and find out, and then make a decision on that. Because I really like this car. I still want to I want this car. I just wish it wasn't so rusty underneath. All right, so I got this tire here, just a random Nokian studded Haka. It's a pretty old tire, so it's kind of a scrap tire or whatever. So I'm just gonna chuck it on there. It's got air in it, and we can just bolt this right on. I just got to get the OEM lug bolts for it because we got the wobble bolts still on the car. And to those of you that were asking about the wobble bolts and how they hold up, like, dude, they outlasted the suspension, so I promise you they're solid. They're good. I have no qualms. I have no qualms about those. And then I got some GTI wheels for sale. If anybody, they're called the Detroit wheels. All right, let's chuck this wheel on the car after I find the bolts, and then hopefully tomorrow I'm gonna do the brakes here, and then we can roll the Audi out of the garage so I can put the Touareg in here. Not seeing any punctures. Might have to spray it. The inner sidewall looks fine. Or I will say these tires have stood up well to what I put them through. There's still lots of tread, not too much uneven wear. Front sidewall looks fine. Yeah, dog, I don't know, because I drove it here with a broken spring, so who knows what happened there. But all right, let's take a look here. Ooh, she's done, son. I might just have to roll it out like that. Oh my gosh, brother. Fuck. This is gnarly. I've never seen this before. Look at this. This has to go like on the wall, I think. Well, there you go. There you have it. There's your problem. That'll do it. Definitely use that suspension to max. And here we should have all our parts and tools that we're going to need to get this brake job done. So, firstly, we got our brake rotors here. So I was going to go with like Brembo pads and rotors, but the thing is it's a daily, and you know, I mean the price is not like that much different, but I figured it doesn't really need to be the Brembos, so we went with the Techstar, which are still quality rotor. So we got these guys here, and they look solid. So we got the Techstar rotors. We got Hella Pagid pads. So again, could have gone with the Brembos, but decided to go with the Hellas, which are still OE spec. And it is quite a nice pad, Hella Pagid. So that will do us just fine for our daily needs. Maybe a tiny bit of off-roading, I don't know yet. Then we got our spring clips and bridge bolts here. We have our brake pad wear sensors, and also shout out to the Calgary BMW parts department and Worldpac for always hooking up the parts. Put that there as my little reminder. And then these here, shout out to Glenmore Audi for having these guys. So these are the brake caliper bolts, which are an M16 head here. So M16 triple square, I should say. And then we got the little rotor screw plug. So this is so you can check the brake shoe wear through this little window. So there's a little hole in the rotor. So as you can see, here's the rotor. So our little screw plug goes in there, and then our rotor set screw goes in there. So that is the rotor set screw right here. So we got those. And then also shout out again to Calgary BMW Techs. My boys over there lent me their M16 triple squares, but I also went and picked up another set here from Princess Auto. So this one is like an impact grade triple square set. It's got the MT16 or the M16 triple square, which is what we'll need. This is my old set here. It maxes out at, I believe, M12. Yeah, so that won't be big enough. So I thought these were M14, but I think the M14 is more for like the GTIs, Jettas, Golfs, and the Touareg takes an M16. So I did test this out to make sure that the socket does indeed fit in that bolt. Alright, so we got that. We got our breaker bars, torque wrenches, impact, and then we got the wheel lock key. And also one thing I kind of found was kind of cool was when I worked at Cal Tire, we used to have these old bags here, and now they got these fresh new units. So I got this with the Touareg when I bought it. The wheel lock key came in there, so I thought that was kind of cool. So yeah, so we got all our parts, we got all our pieces, we got all our tools. Hopefully we got our anti-seize and lubricant here for the brakes. Probably gonna put these on, or put this on the rotor set screw and the little window here, window cover. Yeah, I'm just trying to do this proper. I like doing stuff properly. I like it to be legit. I want it to be quality. I want it to last. So, and I mean, if I'm making like videos, I want to show the proper way of doing this, the best to my ability. So we got all the parts we need. So let's shuffle the cars around and let's get this stuff installed. We got the right rear brakes replaced. So the bottom bolt for the caliper was quite a pain in the ass. I had the impact gun on it. I could not get it to loosen. And then finally, I was able to just get the breaker bar in from like the bottom side here, just enough to crack it loose. And it was like a small little bit. And then I managed to crack the rest of it off with that impact gun. Got it all off, and then pretty much the rest was pretty easy from there. So we got the brake pads on, we lubed them up, got the rotors pads on, sensors in, and rotor set screw. All right, fam, so before I did the brakes in the rear, we had metal on metal. So now we got like a lot of brake dust on here, and you can see this stuff's really bad, really caked on. So I'm gonna see if this will even come off. I don't actually know if it will, but I have this stuff here. It's called wheel acid. It is horrible stuff. I don't even know if you can get it kind of like retail. It's kind of a commercial thing, but anyway, I'm gonna spray the wheel down and put the camera on it, and you guys can see this, how this stuff just dissolves brake dust. It's kind of crazy. It'll turn all purple, and then I'm gonna drive it over. I just put it in the sun right now so we can see it, and then I'll drive over to the pressure washer and hose it off. And it should hopefully look at least a little better and like match the front. But now we got the new pads and rotors on there, so we can clean up that wheel. As you can see, completely purple, but this side is not nearly as bad, but definitely still got some brake dust. The fronts are pretty okay because those pads still have plenty of life left. Not too bad. This rear one, I've never actually seen that much. That's insane. Let's go wash that off. Alright guys, there you have it. The 09 Touareg. Very excited about this thing. So hit the subscribe button if you guys want to see more. Now, I don't think there's going to be a ton more maintenance or mods that needs to go into this thing. What I really want to do is take it adventuring. So the most important thing I think now is we need to get some big tires for that. So as you guys saw, I got some 17-inch wheels for it. So we're going to be putting some 31.5-inch approximately sized all-terrains on it for the summertime, and then we're going to definitely be taking this thing camping. There's also, yeah, tons of cool places that I want to visit out in BC and like Western Alberta near the mountains and stuff. So this thing is going to be the rig for us. Now, we also got a tow hitch on that thing. We could tow if we needed to, so that's kind of handy. We can throw like a bike rack on there. We could throw a roof rack up top. Like, yeah, the possibilities are endless. So like I said, don't think it's going to be modded out too crazy, but I definitely need like some off-road stuff. Hopefully we can eventually get some Eurowise parts for this thing. Also kind of want to debadge the Touareg and the V6 badge, but we'll see about that. Just little things. OBD11 mods to like get rid of you know, DRLs and like little stuff like that. There are the fresh brakes all installed. Ooh, shiny. Yeah, dude, I'm so stoked on this thing. And pretty much this is the last day of this kind of weather we're gonna get here. It's February 15th today, and tomorrow it is supposed to start dumping snow. So I assume in about 24 hours this place can be covered in snow. Maybe I'll see if I can come back out here and give you guys like a before after 24 hours later thing, because we're about to get 20 to 30 centimeters in the next 2 or 3 days. So yeah, so I had to come out here, film out here for you guys. I absolutely love it here. This is Fish Creek Park out here in Calgary, and this is like my favorite spot ever. I think I actually mentioned that in the last video, so it's kind of funny that I'm out here filming a video just along the park here with the Touareg. So the sun is setting. It's a beautiful evening here, and we're going to be getting some snow here real soon, and then yeah, pretty much keep you guys updated on the old Touareg here. I think the next video is going to be about the Audi, but we'll see. I gotta dig into that and figure out what the hell is wrong with that thing now. So anyway, thanks so much for watching, guys. I'm gonna start filming more content on the Audi soon, and then we have spring just around the corner, and I would love to get into the VW VR6, the Mark II. Not sure if that's gonna happen, but we'll see. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.